Good evening and welcome to the Pimlico Experience. I'm Joel Buchholz, Executive Principal at Pimlico State High School. It's my great pleasure to welcome you, and I hope that you find our ongoing Pimlico Experience a worthwhile and invaluable opportunity to learn more about our school and the great opportunities that we're able to provide students and families in our Pimlico community. I'm going to hand you over now to our students for this evening's tour.
Welcome to Pimlico State High School in the exciting world of global education and languages. My name is Gabby.
My name is Toby and we are in Year 7 here at Pimlico State High School. Today we will be going on a virtual journey through the Global Education Centre, one of our Global Education and Languages programs. We will be highlighting the amazing opportunities available to our students in our academic excellence and extracurricular programs.
Come with us as we discover how Pimlico education is turning our students into global citizens of the 21st century. Let us show you around.
Today's students will live and work in a world reshaped by globalisation and technological advancement. They'll be leaders and citizens in a world characterised by unprecedented challenge and opportunity. They'll be more mobile and connected than any previous generation, and they'll need to be more adaptable, resilient and enterprising. Schools therefore have a pressing moral imperative to prepare young people as confident and capable global citizens, equipping them to be the workers, citizens, leaders and change makers of the future.
Global Studies starts with Year 7, where we basically focus on essential skills we know the students will need for their future careers and also future schooling. So that's teaching them everything from how to be effective group members through to being able to communicate in an effective form.
From Year 7, students can join our Global Studies classes, which use an accelerated humanities curriculum to extend high-achieving students while also providing time to participate in a range of enrichment activities.
All Year 7 students also study either Japanese or French.
A globalised citizen at Pimlico is someone who is an active, responsible member of society through being interconnected in our community, developing of action plans in local, national and international projects. We want our students to finish high school to be the leaders of tomorrow and be able to develop skills that will help them in a diversity of workplaces and environments.
A range of global education extracurricular activities are available to all students from Year 7. These include our Speak Easy program, Pimlico Think Tank and Model United Nations Club.
At Pimlico, the Speak Easy program is a public speaking and communication course that's offered to students at our school.
Speak Easy aims to make public speaking cool and primarily accessible to all young people. We're utilising all these 21st century skills to teach our students how they are going to get ahead in the competitive world that they're heading into.
It's just given me the confidence, the skills and the ability to communicate with others that helps with everything that I do.
The Pimlico Think Tank is a great opportunity, open to all students at Pimlico to get their ideas heard. We aim to develop cost-effective solutions to then be implemented with the help of the Global Studies Department. Overall, the Pimlico Think Tank is a great way to get involved, get stuff done and make new friends.
As students progress through to higher year levels, they can get involved in initiatives such as the Premier's Anzac Prize, Plan for the Planet, Decarbonise, Decolonise, a Certificate 2 in Leadership, and international study tours and exchanges.
The Premier's Anzac Prize is an annual competition held by the Queensland Government, and students have the opportunity to enter it through our Global Studies program here at Pimlico. By entering a 5-minute video that answers a question related to the Anzacs, 8 recipients have the chance to embark on a 2-week tour of the Western Front. It was one of the best experiences I've ever had.
Because of the strong foundation provided by our Global Studies program, Pimlico is the only school that has had a participant in the prestigious Premier's Anzac Prize every year since this competition was established.
One of the most memorable moments of the Premier's Anzac Prize for me was definitely having the opportunity to attend an Anzac Day Service at Villers-Bretonneux in France, as well as being able to commemorate the sacrifice of men and women that served along the Western Front. The experience has taught me so much about Australia's history and about myself. I can honestly say that the Premier's Anzac Prize has changed my life.
Plan for the Planet is a program that challenges students from Australia, India, Singapore and Mauritius to tackle problems in their communities. After completing the program at school, we travelled to Singapore for an international conference where we met with students from India, Mauritius and Singapore. It was really interesting to be able to see how students in different countries tackle the same issues.
Pimlico played a central role in developing the Plan for the Planet program in partnership with the Australian National University.
As the program has grown, our students now mentor students from other schools to help them become involved in this exciting sustainability initiative.
Through the Decarbonise, Decolonise program, Pimlico students collaborate with other young people from partner schools around the world to develop innovative and practical solutions to climate change. Each year, our students present their ideas at the annual UN Climate Summit.
The Decarbonise program really exposed me to a new way of thinking about the world. Understanding how other people live and how climate change affects other people around the world was really eye-opening for me.
In Year 11, all students complete a Certificate 2 in Leadership through our VLR program. Pimlico is the only school in the country to offer this program, which allows our students to apply their global citizenship skills to real-world problems in the local community.
In grade 11 Global Vlr, my group in particular is working on a solar panel project where we're putting solar panels all over the buildings in Pimlico.
Thank you for joining us in our virtual journey through the Global Educations and Languages program.
Thank you for giving us the opportunity to showcase our school, students, teachers and programs. A Pimlico education really does make a world of difference through our focus on 21st century skills.
Please stay tuned for the Q&A session coming up next. We will be online to have a chat and answer your questions about our school.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the third of our Pimlico Experience Q&A sessions. It's great to have you join us again this evening, and I hope that you enjoyed that tour from Gabby and Toby through our Global Education and Languages programs. Joining me tonight, I've got the head of our Global Education and Languages Department, Glenn Edwards. I've got Rick Harding, who's our Global Studies Coordinator, one of our alumni, class of 2018, Ayoka Wong, and joining us we've got two current students from Year 8 and Year 12, Hillman and Max. So Glenn, talk to us about what Global Studies in Year 7 looks like. What will our students experience coming into Pimlico?
You would have seen in the video the experiences that our students have across the entire school as part of our Global Studies program. But to participate in those programs, it really starts with our Year 7 students and training them to engage and learn how to participate in a range of projects and develop a range of skills. So our focus is on that person as a whole. How do we turn that student from being someone focused on getting good results into being a good person? One of our aims is not only just thinking about your child as a person in Year 7, but where will they be at the end of Year 12? But more importantly, where are they going to be once they leave school and leave university? So we're very much focused on developing our students from Year 7 to develop those skills we want in terms of communication, collaboration, problem solving. Because we think, what do the future bosses out there want? What do the universities want? Those are the sorts of skills they're looking for from our students. And that's the focus of our Year 7 program in particular. We develop those skills, we build on those across the years, and that allows our kids to participate in a wide range of programs we have available to the students.
And Glenn, in terms of the way that curriculum is delivered, that's largely through the humanities and also our digital technologies curriculum as a starting point?
Yeah, so we've used our social science curriculum to develop our global studies program, so we meet the requirements of the national curriculum. We have a strong focus on the use of technology and computer technology in particular, so that's sort of incorporated, but we've sort of turned that into a focus on the skills. What it comes down to is we want your child to leave our school with a story. It's not about just getting great academic results, but what are the stories they can tell that will make them stand out from every other kid in the state or across Australia.
Fantastic. Ayoka, you've got some stories to tell from your time here at Pimlico. So you're currently studying medicine at JCU, but you've been involved in many of the global studies programs. So what are some of the stories that stand out for you? What are your most memorable experiences from Pimlico's global programs?
So for one of my programs, I actually was part of the United Nations International School Conference, which was actually held in New York. So I got to meet with 400 students from across the globe at the actual United Nations building, where we got to collaborate and learn about different types of government and how different citizens all over the world have different goals. But what we did find that was unanimous was that we could all have great social networking skills, communication and team building skills, which definitely was built through the Global Education program.
Excellent. And you were also part of the Plan for the Planet program in those first years we had that established. What was that experience like?
That was also a really great experience. We got to network with people online similar to this, from different countries and schools, and we got to work together on a program where we actually sent a few students to Morocco to collaborate together, and they ended up coming up with a plan that we all collaborated on and was then put forward to put, I guess, our plans into motion.
Excellent. So tell me, what are some of the key skills that have stayed with you and held you in good stead as you've now moved into your university studies?
I think networking is one of the biggest skills I learned. It's going to help you now and far into the future, as well as great communication skills and teamwork skills. I think they're skills that will always be a part of your life, no matter what job or career you go into.
Excellent. Now, Rick, Glenn's talked to us about, I guess, the curriculum side of things, but there's obviously a whole range of extracurricular programs related to global citizenship that students can get involved in right from Year 7. Talk to us about some of those opportunities.
We have two main programs that Year 7 students can be part of. The first one is our Model United Nations. So Model United Nations is focusing on diplomacy, communication, and international relations on a student setting. It allows students to take part in an environment that allows them to take on responsibilities and perceptions of another country while they're debating different topics. At the moment, we've got three students in our Year 7 program. It started up this year, and they're they're excited, they're interested, and they're really making a difference. And they have opportunities to express these ideas through that program. The second one we focus on is the Pimlico Think Tank. Pimlico Think Tank is quite a unique program within Pimlico. It allows for students to look at projects at a local, national, and an international level. And they start looking at ideas that fascinates them or things they're passionate about. They then work together with a range of students at Pimlico within the program to come up with solutions or ideas to help fix or develop awareness or work with or towards those types of issues. So it allows them to become really those globalized citizens from a very young age.
And through those extracurricular activities, they've got an opportunity then to connect in with like-minded students in other year levels as well as part of those programs.
Yes, that's correct. So both Model UN and the Pimlico Think Tank is open for 7 to 12. The networking opportunities and the mentorship that go through both of these programs is immense, especially our 10, 11 and 12 students working very effectively with our 7s and our 8s, developing those key skills that allow them in turn, once they get to that age, to mentor students again.
Excellent. Hillman, you're in Year 8. You've had almost 2 years now of experiencing and being part of some of these programs. What have been some of the highlights for you? What have you enjoyed in the Global Studies programs?
Well, some of my highlights in the Global Studies program. Last year we went on a number of excursions for our livability and environment unit. We went down to the dam down there, and we also went to a hydroelectric power plant to see the livability in town, and we also went to this second excursion. We saw a parliamentary proceeding during our government and economy unit, and it was a new experience for all the students. We hadn't seen something like that before, and it was really mind-opening.
Fantastic. And Max, you've obviously at the other end, the end of Year 12 coming pretty rapidly, but you've had a chance to be involved in a range of different programs through Global Studies. Talk to us about some of those.
Yeah, it's been fantastic to participate in the Global Studies program for a couple of years now, and I guess before going into a lot of the projects that are offered, it's been really fascinating for me to watch how those projects have developed across the years at Pimlico as well. So there isn't just a set list of things that students in grade 7 do this and then they do this in grade 8, but it's constantly developing based on the opportunities that come up. So just a couple of weeks ago, an email went out from the Global Studies Department and said, hey, we have this conference brought in Hawaii that's at the end of this week, just email us back if you're interested. And there's always fantastic new opportunities. And the Global Studies Department and program is so flexible that you can really cater to those opportunities that come in. And so I've been very fortunate to participate in the Speakeasy program, which was discussed in that video, and that's been a fantastic opportunity to work with Joanne Kewen, who's our public speaking coach at Pimlico, and it really encapsulates a lot of the values that Mr. Edwards was talking about in the Global Studies Department, which is communication, networking, and building real 21st century skills.
Excellent. And then you also are part of the Decarbonise, Decolonise program. Tell us a little about what was involved there.
Yeah, so the Decarbonise, Decolonise program is often offered to our Year 9 and 10 students, and it looks at, well, when I was going through it, was looking at what are the links between traditional owner knowledge and climate change. And so our class would discuss all of those topics. They would communicate with students all across the world, and then that culminated in a conference in Poland in 2018, where we wrote a youth white paper on climate change and presented that at the 24th United Nations Conference of the Parties. So that was, I guess, one of the many opportunities that the Global Studies Department provides, and it was certainly a fantastic learning experience.
And of course, many of these opportunities are about connecting in with other young people around the world, and sometimes that involves travel. And of course, in the current climate, there's not so much of that going on. But of course, technology has also been a big part of how you've connected in. So talk to us a little bit about how you've interacted and engaged with other young people from around the world through some of these programs.
Yeah, so we've had numerous web calls, obviously because we're in Australia in different time zones, so it's often been at odd hours of the night, but it's certainly been fun experiences to connect with people all across the world and sort of discuss issues and facets of issues that we hadn't even considered, and how those are impacting other people around the world has been fantastic. And that use of technology has really allowed us to think about issues in a whole other way.
Yeah. Glenn, as Max said, there's a whole range of different programs that students can get involved in from Year 7 through to Year 12. But as he pointed out, those are evolving as well. We're always looking for some of those new opportunities. So what are some of the spaces we're pushing into at the moment, given the constraints around COVID and travelling? What are some of the things that are over the horizon for us in global studies?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, we are always just looking for new opportunities. We never know what's out there. We're always looking for new opportunities to engage with students across the planet, which we've done successfully over a number of years now. Also very much looking at in being involved with universities, but we're also looking at inviting people here to Townsville. So we have the idea of having our own MUN conference here in Townsville, because there is none outside of the southeast corner. So we need some for North Queensland, so we want to hold our own conference here for MUN. We're also looking at holding a youth conference on water and the reef. But it's going to be slightly different to what most people think of when they think of a conference, because this conference will be organised, run, planned and implemented by the students themselves. We as the teachers, we're just there to help and support our students, and that means our students from 7 right through to 12, and hopefully many of our alumni will be part of that conference and will be able to contribute, and it will be their conference, not ours.
Excellent. And look, right back at the start of that journey of coming and getting involved in these programs, when students come into Year 7 as part of Global Studies, we have, out of the 12 classes that come in at Year 7, we normally have around 3 that are a part of the Global Studies program. What looks different, I guess, for those 3 classes, for those students that apply or elect to go into the Global Studies program?
We have a very specialised curriculum for them, which, as we said before, has been developed from the social science curriculum. But what we're also looking at is how we can take many of those skills we're focused on with those 3 Year 7 classes, as an example, and spread it across the entire school. Our starting point will be across our social science classes, because what we do and what we focus on is something that all of our students need to do. And skills they need to do, especially in the world of communication. So while we talk about a global citizen and we talk about having a global department with a global education program, it doesn't stop with us. It's something that the whole school is responsible for, and that's what we're looking forward to, is making sure that every one of our students is a true global citizen.
Excellent. And as you say, as well as making sure that it's not just those 3 classes, there's opportunities for other students across Year 7, including in some of the extracurricular programs. We've also looked at how we expand that out across the whole school at Year 11. So this year we've introduced the Certificate 2 in Leadership for all of our students in Year 11. Talk to us about what's involved with that, Glenn.
Yeah, so the Year 11 Cert 2 has a focus on the students developing a project. So that project is based around the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. And that really sort of came from the programs our Year 10s and our Year 11s were involved in. So we decided that, or thought that all of our students need that opportunity to do some service learning, but to develop and create a project that they were responsible for. So that's the purpose of the course. They've got to relate it back to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, and their project is really theirs. They have to develop, they have to plan it, they have to fund it, and through that process they actually get a Cert 2 in Leadership, which is always a great certificate to have, but it opens their eyes to the fact that they can make a difference, that any student in our school, if you engage in the process, you pick up the skills, you can really go out there and make a change. Now, that be at your own personal level, a national or international level, everyone in our school should be able to leave with that idea that they can make a world of difference.
Excellent. And Rick, Glenn's talked a lot about those broader attributes and skills. What do you see are those really important underpinning skills that you would hope that our students leave with the end of Year 12 equipped as a global citizen?
Your big one, as we've spoken about before, is our communication. It's the ability that communication is embedded across our school. It's embedded everywhere within you the moment you leave. It's something that often students, and especially through our model UN programs, it gives you the ability to think outside the box and really develop your leadership skills through those programs, through that concept. The other one would be collaborative work and teamwork. Again, when you go to university, if you go to TAFE, you work in a workplace, working as a team is something that's highly valued. And being able to be part of a team plan and effective leader within a team is something that I strive for. Our programs push the ability and push our students outside their comfort zones and really push them to think outside the box to develop the skills of communication, effective leadership, and that more teamwork collaboration approach.
You talked about the importance of that opportunity to collaborate with students before, as we just heard. Tell us, you've been operating obviously now under the current COVID situation where you've been studying online. Talk to us, did some of that experience working and engaging with students online and collaborating online help perhaps to prepare you for the mode you're now finding yourself studying in?
Yeah, definitely. I think it made a big difference. I'm able to, I guess, organise if I need to. For example, how Glenn was talking about planning events, I'm able to plan study sessions, plan my own timetable because I'm now in charge of my own learning. I have to run through all my programs, lectures, tutorials myself. So I think that makes a really big difference. And also I'm now part of one of the Queensland Youth Engagement Panels, which advises the Queensland Government on issues and how the youth feel about it. We've also been meeting online and it's a similar idea. And I think having those skills from school has really made a big impact.
Excellent. And Hillman, where do you hope that developing these global citizenship skills are going to take you in the future? What careers or areas are you interested in that maybe global citizenship is going to help you with as you move through school and out into the world beyond?
Well, of course, I haven't looked too far, but I believe if I attend these Model UN projects and these other extracurricular projects, of course, these communication skills and teamwork skills will help me collaborate with other people and engage my experience.
Excellent. And Max, as we said before, not long to the end of Year 12. Tell us about what you're hoping to do next year and how you think some of the skills you've learned from the Global Studies programs are helping to equip you for that.
Yeah, so I'm very fortunate to have just been offered a place at ANU, and so I'd like to study politics, philosophy and economics there. And I think that very much is a follow-on from a lot of the stuff that we've learned at the Global Studies program. And that's not just from the skills and discussing topics on international relations and going to extracurricular events like the MUN Club, but it's also the skills as well, and the networking and the communication, the leadership are all skills that really tie into that program.
Excellent. I mean, those skills are so important, but it's another layer as well. It's that attribute and that outlook as well. So how has, I guess, being involved in some of the global citizenship programs maybe changed your outlook or your mindset around the world over the last few years?
Yeah, it's certainly hard to quantify because it's hard to, for so many years in the global program, it's certainly changed the way I think about the world so much. And coming out of it now, it really makes you think wow, you've really changed the person that I am now. And I think going into the global system, something that I kind of underrated was the collaborative team skills work. And I think going through that, it made me realize I kind of always thought that collaborative teamwork would always just be you work with someone, you say this, kind of comes together, bang, easy. But there's a whole nother level of complexity that I think working in the global system, and it's not just working in groups, but it's working in groups with ownership over the projects. And as Mr. Edwards, Mr. Harding have been talking now with our Year 11 VLR leadership program, is that students have ownership over their projects, and they have to take responsibility for this and follow up on all the actions and make sure that it's happening. And then that whole level of collaboration then is just enhanced because then it's, we have to make this happen, and we've got this team of people and this is how we're going to make it happen.
Excellent. So Glenn, for those students who I guess perhaps have a particular passion and want to take that deeper dive into this notion of global citizenship and be part of the Global Studies program, what's the process for them to express an interest?
Yep, so there's an application form that you can fill in. That's available on our school website, so you can download that, fill that in, and put that in as part of your application package to the school.
Excellent. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us soon. Thank you to our fabulous panel. It's great that you're able to join us again. Before we wrap up, of course, we've got our interactive activity again. I hope you had fun with your helicopters from STEM last week. But Mr. Harding, tell us what's our interactive challenge for our students this week?
This week we're focusing on and looking at how Townsville is a globalised society. So we're calling it the 100 Pictures of Townsville project. The goal is to really start to examine someone is from Townsville, what does a person from Townsville look like, and how does it show that diversity? So how the project works is you take a photo of anybody in your life. Of course, please ask them permission first before you take photos. And you're going to send that photo back to us. And you're going to add a bit of a message to that. So you're going to tell us what makes that person unique, what makes them special. And we're looking for the stories, the inside and the notions of what makes someone unique, what makes someone special here in Townsville. Our goal is to get as many different photos together. We're going to collate all that information within a video, and we're going to share that back with our local community to look at and highlight going, well, what is the preconceived notion of what is a person from Townsville? What do they look like? And we're trying to show and express the diversity that our town offers.
Excellent. I'm sure there'll be some great stories there sitting in your families and others that you know. So get your camera out, get ready. We'd love to have your contribution. Thank you for joining us again. Remember, our video and a whole range of other resources from this session and our previous weeks are all on our website. Please join us again next week, though, for the fourth of our sessions focused on our technologies curriculum and program here at Pimlico. Thanks very much.